because I was thriving to get the attention of somebody who could never really fulfill me in the first place.
Yeah.
So I can relate to that, to perfectionism, thriving, working hard, thinking that my doing matters more than my being. God cares more about me being his son than he cares about what I do for him. Why? Because it's about relationship, right?
Yeah.
And I had missed that for so long. So when I got saved, first thing I think, okay, I need to read all of this Bible. Why? Because I need this approval. And little did I know, if I would have just did a little, how far that would have went in my life than trying to consume so much, to where you just get prideful and arrogant. And I found myself not loving people because I was learning so fast, but my heart wasn't catching up with what my head was knowing.
Yeah.
So now today, man, I can say from just being in the Word, from knowing who God's called me to be as a child of God, it helps me. So now I make decisions in light of being a son.
I like when you said you were learning faster than your heart can catch up. I like that because it made me think about like in firearms and training and stuff. Whenever, they're teaching you how to like clear a room and process a room. One of the biggest things they always say is that move as fast as you can process. You don't want to move so fast where you can't process the room.
That's good. That's good.
Right.
I like that.
And I just kind of see that too is that was awesome. Like with what you said is, man, I don't want to just learn so much where my heart's not catching up, because there is like people use the word heart and head knowledge and everything, but no, it's basically is with the things that I'm learning in the Word of God, is my character able to sustain the things that I'm learning? Is my maturity, and I think that's following Jesus Christ. It begins with that identity. And just like we said, it starts with my being more than doing. That's true because, bro, in leadership, this as well, man, that leadership is it's actually more about being than doing, right? It's about who you are as a leader, because as leaders, you don't want to replicate yourself. You want to reproduce yourself. Because replication is just copying a method. Reproducing is reproducing principles and values and who you are. So whenever they get in a situation, they know how you think. And I think it's the same thing with our identity in Christ. Right? The more we learn God, the more we learn our identity, we know how to respond when we're in certain situations just like Christ.
Bro, that's fire, man.
Were you funny, son?
No, for real. Like, I'm like thinking about what you said, and I'm like, that's it. Like, the reason why we should dive deep into our word daily, the reason why we should pray to God, the reason why that we should have all of these disciplines is because the whole purpose of knowing our identity for the moment that we die is to reproduce Christ in the world that we live in. Why? Because a lot of people in this world don't know him. But I think oftentimes we can miss the fact that, hey, he saved you to reproduce. Your father, he died for you, and he's giving you life so that he can reproduce himself in you. He created you in his image, but through this life and through sin, that image has been distorted. So now he's trying to redeem his image in you, and that only happens through you abiding in his word. And through abiding in his word, he's able to reproduce himself in you.